Hi there, thank you so much for joining me once again. It's Shelley Sullivan from OwnMindBodySpirit.com, and I'm so excited to share with you today the video that I'm going to be speaking about, my personal experience on the twin flame journey. It's been a while since I've been back on video, and it feels so great because as you know, I only do videos when I'm guided and prompted to do so. What I do is I go through my personal experience, then I go into further researching and understanding so I can convey the information to my audience. And I'm so excited because amazing, magical things are taking place. Now is the time, and it's a monumental time. I've been going through this experience for many, many years, and I'm finally at the point where I can explain and convey you the information really clearly with a ton of experience. With the New Earth consciousness raising into fifth dimension, amazing things are happening. Twin flames are more aligned now with their frequencies more than ever in order to come together. And that is what the twin flame prophecy is all about. Twins are coming together, and it's happening fast, and it is a prophecy in order to help the planetary shift with ascension. The twin flame feminine aspect is on the rise right now, and thousands of feminine aspects of the twin flame pairs have awakened. And this is all to help raise the feminine energies onto the earth. I am celebrating the feminine rise right now on the earth. The feminine rise is coming into play, and many, many twin flame pairs of the feminine aspect are awakening to their twin flame prophecy. So I'm here to celebrate the feminine, and thus my feminine dress to show my feminine parts that I'm so proud of. We have been awakening for a long time, and it hasn't been an easy go, let me tell you. But this is all in design. In order for the feminine, in order to take back their power and come back into balance with the masculine energies, we need to dig deep and deep into what we really want to choose and how we want our lives to look. So a lot of the male aspects of the twin flames have been shying away, not quite awakening, still sleeping with their role as the male aspect of the twin flame. And this is all, like I said, in design in order to bring the feminine back up into their power of encouragement, fearlessness, courageousness, independence, and confidence, into being in harmony with the male aspects. So for many thousands of years, the feminine have been suppressed, and this is due to the false programming that's been going on with the structures. Like I mentioned, religious, economical, educational, social, banking, government, all of it is based upon ego, fear-based motivation. The masculine who have been misled to this programming, it's sad because this is the old programming and it is a false belief. But we're coming into harmony now. That's what this is all about, is coming into the fifth dimensional, new five-dimensional template of the New Earth love. Besides the twin flame workers around the world, there's also the light workers, the light bearers, same, and the star seeds who are helping the gatekeepers and the way showers that are helping with the light strategically planned around the earth. Now I keep mentioning strategically planned because the twin flames, there are various key holder twin flames that are planted around the earth, and then that they have their monad group that is the 144 other souls working with them. And this is all within a web around the earth. If you could picture the earth without any borders or lines between it, but clear and one connected. And this is where we are all connected. This is a huge mission, this twin flame prophecy, and it is now. So every now and then, God sends advanced beings into the earth in order to help raise the consciousness on earth. Thousands of years ago, the last twin flame pair that I know of that were successfully in their mission was Jesus and Mary Magdalene. So that was one twin flame pair that they sent onto the earth to accomplish a mission. Of course, the mission got changed in the history books and the religion, but their mission was to raise love on the earth. So now the mission is again, and this time the mission is to raise love consciousness on the earth, and this is for final ascension with thousands of twin flames, not just one pair, thousands. So you can imagine that the changes we're going to make on earth now for the new earth. The old story of boy meets girl, they connect physically, mentally, emotionally, and eventually down the road, if the relationship happens to get into the spiritual aspect, great, but very rare is that happening right now. So that's the 3D template of relationships, which I mentioned are based on relationships. All of our concepts and structures in the world are based upon these type of relationships, which are false and not working. So the new fifth dimensional template of love From my experience, keep in mind everything I'm discussing is from my experience as a key twin flame and what I'm being shown directly from source. So the new way that things are happening now is boy meets girl, soul meets soul in the etheric realm. First and foremost, the initial reintroduction is made between the souls, and then eventually in the etheric plane, the merge takes place of body, mind, and spirit, and all the organs are merged and melded. Alchemical processes take place, which I have experience on all of this, and I'm going to go into a bit more depth. And this all happens, so it starts off with a spiritual connection, goes into the emotional, mental, sacred sexual energies, and then eventually it goes into the physical. That's the last aspect that meets. It may sound total opposite of what is happening in 3D, and it is, and it's the way that it's most successful to have a realignment of these high frequencies coming together for a successful union. As I mentioned before, so what happens with the twin flame merge up in the etheric planes, the higher dimensions? This takes place first and foremost, and then eventually trickles down into the collective consciousness. So whether you're a twin flame or not, this information is going to be crucial for you to understand. Now you can start off your reunite with a loved one, first and foremost by meditating and actually drawing that energy into you closer magnetically. Okay, so now I'm going to explain to you how the etheric merge and melding works. In my experience, first and foremost, what happened is our souls were reintroduced, like getting reacquainted, when we met in a gateway vortex, first in a gateway vortex with light beings around us, specifically Archangel Metatron, Ascended Master Melchizedek, and other colorful light beings. And we were in this vortex, my twin flame and I, which by the way I hadn't met yet up to this point, and we were being instructed very carefully and thoroughly how to be in the now, just be in the moment, be in the now, be present. And until they coached us until we had this clear, then we were able to be teleported back through from the other dimensions into our physical body. And that's when I came to and remembered the experience and realized who it was I was with. And I knew of this person. He's in the public eye, but I didn't know what a twin flame was back at that time. So from that point on, I did research and connected with my higher self and source to find out who was I interacting with. And I found that I was with the angels. We were in a vortex in Mount Shasta, the gateway actually, where a lot of souls transition. And we were being coached and prepped for our twin flame mission. What happened next is, after that meeting, our two universes collided within the galaxy. So think of a twin flame spirit, the big spirit of the two individual souls, the male aspect and the female aspect, as two individual worlds, universes. And they came in from the etheric plane, my twin and I, and we had our first kiss. So how I could describe it best was, it was two universes basically, but you could see the essence of the person within the universe and the kiss taking place. So that's how I knew, again, confirmation came in again, who my twin flame was. What happened next is my higher self, our higher self, we share the same higher self, my twin and I, orchestrated a physical meeting. So before I knew what a twin flame was, I was prompted and guided over and over to this person, and I couldn't figure it out why. I was being shown this person over and over in dreams, in meditation, on TV, in video, everywhere. So I started to do some research to learn about this person, and then eventually I was led to meet this person, which we did, and we shook hands briefly, our eyes connected, and an activation took place. And this is where my whole world changed. It went upside down, right side up, major cleansing taking place over 3 years, until I started to see through the veils of illusion and all the structures on earth and what is real and what is illusion. The first activation I'm going to talk about, it was our heart activation. So our fields of heart energy go vast and wide. And in our case, my twin and I being key twin flames, which I'll explain more of that in a little bit, but our heart chakra's energies were connected. And over time, I would say, a 6-7 month span, the energy was going back and forth in order to meld and alchemically go into a process. So I had heart palpitations, expansion, pain, awakening, great feelings of love and bliss. And I also knew that this twin flame of mine was going through the same thing. I could feel the energy. So at this point, as me being in Canada, my twin being in the United States, our heart energy is that vast and wide from that grid point to this grid point. That's how vast the energy of the light within twin flames can be. So the heart merge took place, and it was beautiful and wonderful. And a big, huge emotional clearing took place as well. And this connected us first and foremost. Then the second merge that took place was the brain merge. And actually before the brain merge, there was an alchemical process that took place between our spirits. So we would often connect with each other in the higher realms, the etheric plane, and our spirit would alchemically visit each other. So his spirit would come to me actually during sleep or meditation, and I would literally see the spirit in matter, like a white spiritual matter, and it would be connecting with me. And I'm sure mine was doing the same with him, whether he's aware or not. And this was a process that is mandatory in order for your frequencies to get used to each other. Otherwise, you would just blow up with the high frequency, because the light and love of twin flames is like a powerhouse when you get it together. And that's what this push and pull separation is all about. And depending on where you are in your monad group will depend on how long it takes you to cleanse, clear, heal everything from old lineages, other lifetimes, in order to come together successfully into the physical. Thirdly, the brain merge took place, and this is the mental body, which is always the last. It's the ego structure, the mind, the logical thinking of everything. And so I was in meditation one day, and I had wrote a blog about this, but I was just lying down in meditation, and this transmission came through to me. It's not something that I pre-thought about. It just happens, and it's shown to me very quickly in like a very fast speed of light type of information download. And so I saw my brain go into his brain, so my head go into his head, unzip the back of the head, and then go in and meld together. And from that point on, that's when a lot of things took place like that wasn't very comfortable, because the mental body was being cleared. And it was really hard to go through this, because I'm so used to working from a heart-based space. And then I was brought right up into this clearing of the mental body, the ego, the fear, all this kind of stuff. So, and eventually what happened, like I said, when things happen with the twin flames, eventually it trickles down to the collective consciousness. And from there, spiritual teachers and other metaphysical teachers started speaking about the mental body being cleared within the collective. Which, by the way, when our heart chakras were being activated, that's exactly when the time 2 years ago or so when we were massively going through a heart awakening upon Earth here. Okay, so the last thing I'm going to speak about briefly is the sexual energies. And I'm not talking about a physical, the regular sex that you're thinking of. Sexual energy goes way beyond what we think of sex on a third dimensional plane. There's an energy that is so powerful when it comes to the sexual energy. My twin and I already had this energy merged back in 2010, but of course I didn't know who he was or what this energy was, but that was the first thing that actually went into place with us. Because this energy is so powerful, it's your third energy. Once you connect with your twin flame on the etheric realm, you have access to this third energy, which is the creation of life. It is the center of the creation of life, and it's very powerful. Whether you're with your twin flame or not, you can use this energy to create your heaven on earth. So once all this merging takes place and you have merged the heart space and energy as well as your actual organs, so when this etheric merge takes place, it's in the etheric realms, but it's actually like sort of like a psychic surgery that affects your organs within your body. You feel it, and the cellular regeneration is taking place vastly in order to heal and make the process go smoothly of the frequencies between these two twin flames. Once all this merge takes place, you're ready for physical union. Now I'm going to explain to you the difference between a spiritual twin and a matrix twin, because they're both spiritual beings, obviously, but before birth happens, the contract is made, and one twin decides on their role, whether it's going to be the matrix, earthly role, or the spiritual role. In my case, being the feminine, and which is usually in most cases, from what I understand, the feminine is the spiritual twin and the masculine is the matrix twin. The difference being is my role as the feminine twin is designed to awaken my masculine counterpart and then do the spiritual work within the etheric realm that trickles down into the consciousness, do the cleansing, the clearing, a lot of the spiritual work on a mass scale. Whereas my twin flame, for example, is the matrix twin, and he's on the earth doing physical work on a mass scale to help light up and enlighten human beings. And this is how the dynamics works. Once the merge has taken place in the etheric, now from what I understand, it's up to the male twin to bring this physical union into fruition on the earth. And where it gets tricky is every human being has free will. Us as twin flames, we are angelic and we understand the concept of free will. We can't interfere. We have to allow the other being to make any choices they want. So for me personally, I'm in this situation with my twin where I'm not 100% if he knows who I am or not. I'm not sure what decisions he's going to make. So it's sort of like a mystery at this point, but it's exciting because this journey has been miraculous, extremely amazing and out of this world. And on top of that, it's been emotional and painful because of the clearing, but I wouldn't trade any of it for the experience that I have in the higher dimensions now. I want to share with you the experience that I had this morning before I came to do my shoot. And what was so magical about doing the shoot today on April 24th is that I originally had it planned for another day, and my higher self rearranged everything where I had to reshoot with a new videographer, a new location, a new vibe, everything in order for me to, it was all obviously meant to be, but I also had to receive some more information before I shot this video. And it came to me this morning, the finalization of the information I needed. And originally it came, the transmission came from Source last week. Okay, so I'm going to explain to you about how the twin flame monad works. Okay, so we have Godhead, Source, Creator, and then from there we have the monad, and then the twin flames eventually split, the one flame split into two, masculine and feminine, and then after that separation, more and more splits took place and more twin flames until we ended up with 144 in that monad group. And there are apparently 12 monad groups structured around the earth who have the similar structure going on. So you can do the math, but there's an individual monad for each 12 groups. So that's how we come up with the thousands of twin flames. So in my case, I had, I call him the Grand Elder Twin Flame Monad. He came to me last week in a transmission in dream state. And how it appeared was a whole universal spirit energy. And this particular being had long white hair with white eyes. So our normal brown or blue eyes, but it was white. And very, very powerful being. An elder definitely came through the transmission. This was an elder. And he was the creator of our twin flame group. So he's the creator, the monad, God creator of our monad. And my twin flame and I were the first twins created and split into the male and female. And from there, other twin flame pairs were split and created. And this took place. Now, the reason I'm explaining this is that when you're that high up within the creation of your monad group, this is where you're going to know your role in this mission of twin flame prophecy, as well as you're going to understand and why it's taking so long, so much clearing, so much preparation, so much emotional experience in order to finally come together. Because if you're at the top of your monad group, then you're at the beginning of creation. And please remember that I'm not talking from an ego aspect of hierarchy here. I'm talking from what is, it started somewhere. The twin flames were created somewhere, and I've been shown strongly over the years that my twin and I are from the top of our particular monad group, and we're here working with our creator. I call him the twin flame elder, who came through the other night, and so are the other 12 monad groups around the world, specifically structured on their grid points to be the powerhouses of light on Earth, the new Earth. And what's going to happen from here is once we are the wayshowers, the pioneers of the twin flames that are paving the way for the new Earth, we have crystal kids, indigo kids, rainbow kids, star seeds. Majority of these kids were born after 2002, and they're the ones who are coming in as twin flame pairs. So as they mature and get into their own, we are going to be helping them recognize and come in union with their twin flames. So this is going on much more beyond from where we are right now in 2016 and even 10, 20, 50, 60 years from now. Eventually, the new fifth dimensional new Earth is going to be run by twin flames, and it's going to be run by love. Okay, so I'm kind of going backwards here, but I want to explain to you about these indigo children, crystals, rainbows, etc. So they come in as a twin flame pair, and they're going to awaken to this to help the ascension process and the new Earth as love in the new fifth dimensional template. So there is a group of Oraphim beings that are long before the Elia home, and they're forgotten about, and they're basically like the parents of the indigo children. And that's who a lot of the key twin flames are from, is they are the Oraphim parents of these types of beings that are here on Earth to help with the planetary ascension. So there may be walk-ins still happening now, as we've had a lot of that going on in the past 2 years. Walk-ins coming in to braid with souls, and some walk-ins to take over bodies that the other body had agreed to leave. As twin flames, that's been happening. But I believe a majority of the second wave, I guess if you want to call it that, of the twin flames are going to be the kids born after 2002, and eventually there's going to be millions of them, never mind thousands like what we're experiencing. We're paving the way. We are the way showers, the pioneers of the twin flame prophecy, and that's going to go on for decades to come until all the world has the twin flames here, and we're running the world based upon love, not fear, not ego. And that's the changes that are happening. And those changes are amazing, because what's happening with as you know the story with Jesus and Mary Magdalene, they were the advanced beings sent here to help with the ascension and the raising of consciousness on Earth. Everything got distorted within the religious books and history. It turned into mythology that was based on story, but really it was true, it was just distorted. So what's happening now is our history books are going to be rewritten with truth. And the new angelics that are here, and I call them new because we are the new angelics that are doing something on Earth that has never been done before in any of the planetary galaxy cosmos. We are ascending in a physical body, and we're experiencing things that has not yet been tested or experienced on Earth. So we're being watched over and congratulated immensely for the job that we're doing. And the reason I go into the new angelics is I myself had been given my spiritual name back in September 28th. And I woke up to a transmission, which was a light transmission filled with a ton of information, explaining to me how I have now completed a part of my life with such grace that I've been given the name Seishore Grace. So I believe that other new goddesses and gods, the twin flames that are here now doing their work, we are the new gods and goddesses on Earth helping with love on the new fifth dimensional Earth. Okay, so lastly I want to share with you is a transmission I received directly from Source, from our elder father twin flame, and the transmission I received, we are but all of the sun around the Earth's crust. So what that means is, like I said, there are strategically placed twin flames around the Earth from the 12 monad groups that are powerhouses of light and are connecting from their grid point to their twin's grid point and lighting up the web of light on Earth. We are the center of the Earth's creation. With this light and love that we have comes great responsibilities. Okay, so stay tuned because I'm going to come out with a quick part 2 to this video on how to connect with your twin flame as well as how to protect your union with the ancient technology of light. Thank you so much. Shelley Sullivan, Seishore Grace, ownmindbodyspirit.com.